I like it. I think we're live. We're just gonna let it. Everybody come in. Everybody come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Go ahead. Come on in. Going to step aside here. That's something. Come on in. Gonna let everybody get on in. Give it a little bit more time. Happy Passover to everybody today. We're gonna give us a few more seconds here, and then we're gonna start. Come on in. Come on in. I want to wish everybody a happy Passover feast. I know the calendar said Passover is tomorrow, but Shabbat starts tonight, but tomorrow morning as well. Shabbat starts. Today is preparation day. Um, got my tea here, and we want to prepare our minds. Man, I'm so in the ruach whenever I do these things, and my entire life I've prepared for Shabbats. Raised a Seventh-day Adventist, and preparation day was always a big thing for me. We will shut down Friday for cleaning the house and preparing for Shabbat. And in 2018, as I came to the ancient paths, the way, not Christianity, but the way, following after our Messiah, our Mashiach, Yahusha, Mashiach, who is Yahuwah. I these feasts, these Passover feasts, have given me a new meaning to keeping Shabbats holy, to keeping these designated feast days that the Most High have set aside just for us to keep holy. Just a brand new meaning, man. I'm thankful for every Shabbat. I'm thankful for the time that I spent celebrating and reading and understanding. And you must understand that if you are keeping this feast day, if you're keeping the Passover, what you are attempting to do is to walk in the ancient pathways, as the book of Jeremiah puts it. Everything that we're doing, from the menorah, from having fringes on our clothing, from scribing, writing down, journaling, keeping count on the blessings, and the answered prayers in your life that Yahuwah has answered you and has blessed you with, keeping them recorded, reading the scriptures. All these things are ancient. They're old. And so every time you go back into these old ways of doing things, and I'm solely speaking of what's old from the scriptures, you are walking the ancient pathways. You are meeting Yahuwah where he is at, because he's in the ancient pathways. He is the way. Yahusha, our Messiah, he is the way. And so whenever you go back into doing these things, the Most High will bless you. The Most High will spend time with you. The Most High will care for that time that you're spending with him. He will look into your needs. He's forever present in our lives. And this Passover, man, I want to keep it simple. I am so blessed, man, to be alive in these times. and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in our day today, guys. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. And if you're not happy about Babylon falling, there's something wrong with you. You're watching the wrong video. You're not in the ancient pathways. You're going to find yourself in a bad place when the day of Yahuwah gets here. So we celebrate that. As we celebrate the Passover, we only solely focus on um, you know uh, the preparation of the Passover. We know that in Exodus, you're going to find out as we read today, that the Most High, the angel of death that the Most High have designated for Mitzrayim for that specific date, which would be Nisan the 14th of Nisan, which is the first month, which is in our Gregorian calendar, April. Um, Last week of March, beginning of April, you're going to find out that the Most High told us it's the first month of the year. So the third, fourth month of the Gregorian year in the ancient pathways, the Most High, Yahuwah Zavaot, told us that this month is the first month of the year calendar. Okay? But we're going to find that more as we read. And we're going to be in Exodus 12 today. We're just going to read. And if the Ruach Hakodesh gives us more things to talk about, then we will touch base on those things too. But we're 6 minutes in. I'm hoping people will find this video, that it'd be a blessing to people. But we don't want to take too long. I want to, we're done preparing. Things that need to be done are done, for the most part, at least. It could be done better, but and so we're going to read, man. All right. So let me do this, because I got the here at this channel. Here at this channel, we don't say Jesus. I refuse to say Jesus Christ. I refuse to say Jesus. I refuse to say God. Here we call the Most High by the name that He told our ancestors. His name is, and His name is Yahweh, and His Son's name is Yahweh Shah, because He is the salvation of Yahweh. And we know that Yahuwah appeared to Yaakov, our uncle, our grandpa, should I say, Yaakov, who He changed his name to Israel, as Yahuwah Zavaot, or what in English we would say the Lord of Hosts, but we say Yahuwah Zavaot. Okay, He is the Lord, but He has a name. He shares secrets with us. Yes, we are the descendants of Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. We are His family, and so when we are adopted, when we come into the adoption that He has set up through His Son Yahusha, when we step over into the covenant. Because if you haven't stepped over into the covenant, you're just a brew. You're a lost brew. You're a lost sheep, according to Him. But if you receive the covenant of Yahusha, which is the Passover, like with my face, the Passover, it's about Yahusha. It's about Yahweh Shai, the sacrificial lamb for our sins, so that the wages of sin may pass over us and not account us guilty, because of us tapping into grace and mercy of the work that Yahusha has done, His sacrifice. All right. So just want to touch on base on a couple of those things. If there's anybody in the on the live, welcome, welcome, welcome to On Top, the hill of Zion, which Yahuwah reigns on, and it is a hill that hasn't been topped by nobody. In fact, we are awaiting the last days where all of the nations will gather against Yahweh, facing the Mount Zion, the untopped mountain, looking to get on top of it and reign instead of Yahusha, our Savior. So we are awaiting that day, the day of Yahweh. We are waiting for that day to be completed, so that we may live 1,000 years with Yahusha in love, in matrimony, as He is our husband, and we, the assembly of Yasharel, His wife, His bride. All right. These are things that we know, we live by, because our ancestors have set it together and told us in the scripts. Yahweh used our ancestors to tell us about these things, to put these things in line in order for us to, for in 2025, that you may follow, in order, fall right into line, fall right into the way, the ancient pathways, and continue walking, picking up the baton that our ancestors have left behind. All the prophets, man, they done a lot of work for us. They've done a lot of work for us. And Yahushai came and wrapped it in a great gift. Literally, Yahushai came, put all the prophets, all the words together. He became the word. He wrapped it as a gift. And in 2019, he said, here you go, my children. Come on over the covenant. You are free now. You've fulfilled your 400 years of slavery, for turning from the ancient pathways and going into your own way. You fulfill your 400 years. Now, um, fill your lamp with oil, and be ready for the day of Yahweh. Clean yourself. Wash yourself. Wash yourself continually, daily. Pray and watch. All right, we're going to start reading. We're going to be in Exodus 12 today. If you have your scripts, read along, please, with us. Comment, like, subscribe, favorite, all the good stuff, so that we can grow the channel, and that more people around the world can be blessed by these videos, and just the scriptures, and just the zeal. In these videos, we don't only want to read, we don't only want to speak the words of Yahweh, but we also want to show you the zeal that you ought to have towards the things of the Shamayim. All right, we set energy aside for the things that are holy, the things of Yahweh, the things of the Shamayim. We set energy aside. Okay, you mean, if you don't have money, if you don't have, a lot of things that you can sacrifice, that you can tithe with, that you can put a 10% and give to Yahweh. If you haven't received anything, you've received in life, you've received in energy, you've most likely have ate some food. I know we have the Passover lamb that we will be consuming this Passover as well. So you got energy. So you take that energy and you say, okay, I know that at from 8:30 to 10:45, it's my peak energy. I'm going to take that last hour. I'm going to take those 2-3 hours. I'm going to set it aside to make a video. We're going to spend time in the Word, and we're going to read, and we're going to praise. Here at this channel, we praise. And it may not be as flamboyant, as organized, as perfect as other channels, but we praise is something that I've noticed in a lot of camps and a lot of channels. There's not a lot of praising, a lot of worshiping. So here at this channel, we do practice that. We read psalms, and we you know use djembes, whatever you have, to praise, or we just use our words. Again, we take 10% of our voice, our energy, our breathing, and we use that to give praise and give worship to Yahusha, to Yahuwah. Okay, so all right, Exodus 12 says, first let's pray. Yahuwah, be with us as we read. Allow your Ruach HaKodesh to lead us into the ancient pathways, um, where you said there is the good way, that we will find rest. Yeah. So as we read, I ask that you give us rest, that you help us, lead us in this good way that you've put together. Yeah. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, I pray. All right. So um, I hope you guys can hear me. If you can't hear me, my speaker is wide, loud, ready to go. I've raised it a little bit more. I think we should be good. Yeah, I see signal here. All right, so let's read. The reason why I keep picking up my phone is I'd like to read it with the Hebrew names, which I'm going to pull up here. And I hate reading on my phone, but all right, let's read. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe and El Aharon in the land of Mizraim, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be unto you the beginning of months. The Creator said that this month of Nisan, which is the Gregorian calendar of March, April-ish, this for you will be the beginning of months. So the first month of the year. All right, it shall be the first month of the year to you. Speak ye unto all the assembly of Yasharel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house, one lamb per house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Okay, your lamb shall be without blemish. Keyword, your lamb shall be without blemish. A male of the first year, ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole multitude of the assembly of Yasharel shall kill it in the evening, and they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two posts, on the two side posts, and on the upper doorposts of the houses, wherein they shall eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and matzah, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden it all with water, but roast with fire, his head with his legs, and with the purtenance thereof. And ye shall let nothing of it remain until the morning. And that which remains of it until the morning ye shall burn with fire. And thus shall ye eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is Yahuwah's Pesach, Yahuwah's Passover. And we're going to continue reading, but I want to highlight some stuff here. All right. We're at verse 11. Um, we're going to go to verse 5. Your lamb shall be without blemish. All right. We know that, I said it before. We know, and these are secrets that the Most High share with us, with his children. All right. Not just any old Hebrew, any old black person, or any old person who think he's a Hebrew, but his children, those who follow the law, statutes, and commandments, who actually believe in Yahushua. Okay, this is how I came to the truth. Pretty much, I came to the truth. Well, I solidify my arrival in the truth um, with Hebrews 9:16, and pretty much the Hebrews chapter 9 is pretty much um, expanding on the similarities of the holy things that are in the tabernacle here, or the temple here on earth, that Moshe put together, that Moshe made the children of Yasharel orchestrate. He gave them directions, direct dimensions, and everything about everything that needs to be built and created, and relate that to the real one, the first one, the better one, the bigger one, which is the temple that is in the Shamayim. Okay, in the Shamayim. So we got the temple that is on earth, the first tabernacle. We got the temple that is in the Shamayim that predates the one on earth. The one on earth look like the one in the Shamayim. Okay, and that in that chapter it talks about how the sprinkling of the blood that Moshe did on the articles of worship, and also all the articles in the temple, and also on the people, the sprinkling of the blood. He sprinkled blood on the people as well. Okay, yes, he did that. And we know in the levitical we know in the Levitical priesthood that when it comes to the animals that you are sacrificing, it normally, not normally, it's there's rules as to what you bring, and a couple of those is the firstborn male, and also, um, not having any blemish. And with blemishes can mean a plethora of things, but essentially what it means is it's not perfect. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm gonna let that sink in. That the lamb that you brought to be sacrificed, to be consumed for the wages of your sin, it's either it's perfect or it's not. It's either it has blemishes, or it doesn't. Okay, and the priest won't even the priest that is going to, you know to mediate for you with Yahuwah, with the lamb, won't even take it in his hand and walk through the front door unless he first carefully look through all over the lamb, check, make sure it's, there's no blemish, it doesn't have not one different color hair, it's all white, it's pure, it doesn't its tongue is not stuck in its mouth. It's the mouth is not upside down. Its eye, it doesn't have three eyes or four eyes. It has two eyes, and it sounds like a lamb, and it walks like a lamb. They're so soft, and timid, and so gentle, and the fur look healthy. The fur look healthy, the mouth operates, the breathing operates, the eyes operates, the ears that it has, it's young, it's the right age, it's perfect. Okay, the priest won't take nothing back in unless it's perfect, y'all. And I'm emphasizing that for a reason, because in that same chapter, Hebrews 9, in that same chapter, it talks about um that that essentially, Yahusha is this lamb, pretty much, in 9:16, and it talks about that the blood. It talks specifically at Hebrews 9:16. It talks about the blood, that the blood, that the sacrifice that needs to happen cannot be from no other blood except of the lineage of Yaakov, a specific lineage. It can't be from any other lineage except for that lineage, in which is the lineage of the people who was in the first covenant. that Moshe sprinkled blood on. Okay, so this is how I came to the name of Yahusha. This is how I came to the way. This is how the Most High solidified me in my mind. It gave me proof that this thing is real. You see what I'm saying? Whether I'm going to keep it holy, whether I'm going to walk in it, whether I'm going to do it or not, the Most High did His work by by giving me what my mind and my ruach, my spirit and my soul knows is true. Right? This is how He knows you before you were in your mother's, because he just knows you. He knows your ruach. You are part of Him. We are part of Him. And so He gave me what I needed, and what I needed was Hebrews 9:16. And I understood when I read this in a Bible study that had nothing to do with Passover, a Bible study that had nothing to do with keeping Shabbats, nothing like that. It was just solely a Bible study on Hebrews. But we were in the chapter 9, and I was the one that happened to be having to read 9:16. And it hit me while I had the scriptures in my hands and I was reading, and I understood this is what the Most High had to gave me, the token He had to give me, that there is no way your sins can be quenched, that your sins can be satisfied, the wages can be quenched, unless the blood of the lamb that is going to be sacrificed is the direct blood of the people that the Most High made the covenant with. It has to be the bloodline of those people, no other people but those people. Okay, so if your ancestors were not uh, walking out of Mitzrayim with Moshe, present on that day when he read these things and sprinkled the blood, if they weren't there, you are not part of the covenant. Okay, you have laws to keep. You still have laws to keep, but you're not designated or attached to the laws, the Mosaic laws. You're just not, because your ancestors weren't there. They didn't sign on the covenant. They didn't put their blood up. Okay, we understand that covenants back then were very, very sacred. And when you get on the ancient pathways, you understand, you should have a deep understanding of covenants, because you need to understand um things that you need to standards that you need to live up to satisfy those covenants that were set in place by your ancestors. Okay, or else you're not going to you're not going to be saved. Yahusha's, you know, you won't understand him. You won't understand him. He is a stumbling block to most. He is a stumbling block. Period. And so verse 5, it says, your lamb should be without blemish, a year old male. And we look at this here at Untop, and we say that Yahusha cannot be white. This is what I needed. This is what the Most High gave me. Yahusha cannot be white. Remember, the Mashiach that is supposed to uh, quench the wages of sin for the children of Yasharel, of Israel, cannot be white. He cannot be any other color skin uh, um, other than the color skin that the children of Yaakov or Israel have. And when we find out, we're going to find out that they black. We're going to find out where they live. We're going to find out their descendants. We're going to find out uh, 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 their ancestors and what happened to their ancestors and where they finish at, and those who came from them. Okay, and then you'll find out that he's colored. He's exactly my color skin, exactly kind of reddish, shiny, brown, brass looking. My skin gets darker. Like my neck is a little bit dark, like brass. But essentially, I'm like, King David, King Dawid. Bright face. Nice color skin, eyes bright. My countenance is present. You can see I'm here. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, neither here or there. And so that's what I needed for me to fully believe that, the Messiah is not black. He's not white. He's black. He's colored, should I say? And so that's what I needed, right? And so this jumps off. It jumps out immediately for me. Um, and we continue reading. All right, so 11. All right, so for I will pass through the land of Mizraim this night and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Mizraim, both men and beast. And against all the Elohai of Mizraim, I will execute judgment. I am Yahuwah. So Yahuwah did not only, according to 12, he only not killed the firstborn, but he also killed the Elohims of Egypt, the gods of Egypt. Verse 13. And the blood shall be to you for a mark upon the houses where ye are. When I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you. When I smite the land of Mizraim, and this day shall be unto you for a memorial. So we are keeping a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to Yahuwah throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. So we were never supposed to stop keeping Pesach. We were never supposed to stop keeping Passover. But for 400 years, we lost our identity. We're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28. And so we've lost these things. And this is another reason as to why these things are ancient. They are in the ancient pathways. And we go back to these things. We keep these things holy, okay? And it's an order. And Yahweh said it himself unto Moshe, to Moses, that this feast is an ordinance forever. Okay. And here at on top, we keep laws, statutes, and commandments. Okay. We keep ordinances, especially if Yahuwah said that they are forever. We go back to them, we dig them out, we find out what they are, we try to keep them as best as we can, but we abide by them. We don't say, oh, the law is done away with. No. We keep it. But we understand that it's not really the law that's important, but it's that we're doing it um, with with the thought in mind, with the importance, with the knowledge that it's the work that Yahusha did that will save us, not the law. We keep the law because we love Yahusha. That's why we keep the law. Okay, we do it to in honor of Yahusha and his work. Okay, um, because we love Yahuwah, we love Abba Yahuwah. That's why we keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, and so we keep as many as we can as it's required of us. We keep them. Okay, and if Passover is something that's new to you, if you're on this channel and this is new to you, go read and find out what we need to do and do it. Simple as that. All right. All right. We're at 13. We can go. It shall be a sign for you or not. Okay. We're at 14. We're at 14. All right. 7 days shall ye eat matzah, which matzah pretty much means unleavened bread. Okay. Maotzao. An 8th day feast that begins on the 15th of the first month of Ayiv. Unleavened bread. And in the sense of greedily devouring for sweetness, probably bread, matzah. An unfermented cake or loaf. Okay. All right. 7 days shall ye eat matzah, even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your houses. For whosoever eats ferment or leavened from the first day until the seventh day, that soul shall be cut off from Yasharel. So think about it. Think about this. All right. So you have all these people on this earth that think that they Christians. They think they are following the Messiah. Okay, you think you are. You are. Some of them are. Some of them keeping law, statutes, and commandments as well. So you gotta be careful of that as well. But this is the thing. They keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that they like, that they think we should keep. That no, not they. That the Roman Catholic Church tells them they have to. Big difference. They're not keeping law, statutes, and commandments that they like or that they think that they should keep. No, they keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that the church, our enemy, the Romans, the Roman Catholic Esau is telling them to keep. Right? It doesn't finish there. So they're keeping it that way, and then we find out that some of them saying these Levitical laws are done away with. These specific ones, these feasts. Why? Because yeah, Israel is not the Most High's favorite anymore. He's done with them. He divorced them. All this stuff. Okay, we find out here that he said this is an ordinance forever. Number one. So if he says it's forever, well, he changed his mind? No, he didn't change his mind. You changed your Elohim. You changed your God. Okay, but cool. We'll let it slide. But it's saying here, bro, in verse 15, I'm sorry, that the leaven here obviously signifies the comfortability, the good, the sweet things of life that we've built for ourselves. Um, it can also resemble sin as well. One can put it that in that spin. Um, but essentially is the things that we've done in our lives that are pleasant to our flesh. Okay, so the leaven is the flesh of the bread. Okay, so that signifies um, that the things of the flesh that we've accomplished throughout ages. Okay, that's what the leaven sacrifice. The leaven pretty much sacrifices sins of the flesh. Pretty much, it is the flesh of the bread. Okay, and so it's saying here, bro, that we're supposed to not eat it for 7 days. Okay, now this is crazy. This is why I wanted to make this video, because within the last week, I just been the thought of eating leavened bread literally sat on top of my head like this everywhere I went. And I'm like, bro, you know, I'm a bachelor guy. I barely have enough pans to bake and do stuff like that. Um, I barely have money and funds to say, okay, I'm going to buy everything I need to have this feast, right? Um, obviously I did my best, and I did it. Um, but it's sitting on my head. I'm like, how am I going to find unleavened bread? You know, I know there's a lot of brews out there that they are cooking this bread themselves. So, I may not have everything I need. Um, and I'm new to this. I'm new to this 3-4 years. Last time I kept this was the first time I kept it, and I kept it with my mom, with my mother, who she is a Christian lady. So I straight up made her keep it. Straight up. I just came home. I was living with her, just me and her in the house, and she know I've taken this route of ancient pathways. I literally bought the lamb. I did the cooking. I did the preparation. I did everything, and I told her about it. I told her, yeah, sit down. I made her some wine. I drank most wine. I think she took like a little bit of sip or something like that, because I obviously told her what all these things mean and how to do it. And boy, oh boy, I whip out the best lamb ever, boy. This is hilarious. This is a little bit deviating from my point that I initially wanted to say a segue for. But Christians, bro, some of them, at least my mother, at least, she, I know that she really don't believe in doing it, because she's an Adventist. But she was like, she's down to earth, and she's very malleable. Not malleable. She's cool. She'll go with things if it's safe and it makes sense, right? And so she went with it. But what I like about it is that she ate the lamb, and boy, she was sucking on the bone and she was chewing. She was trying to get the juice out. She was just, I could tell the lamb has satisfied her so much that she was just sucking on the bone and she was just ripping meat off of it. She was just enjoying it. And it was so pleasant to see that, because it hit me. It was like something I needed to see, that, bro, when people come in contact with consuming Yahusha's flesh, bro, you see the need that they have for him, the actual need that they should consciously know that they have for him, but they don't. You see that in the way they consume the meat, the lamb. Boy, me too. Like, I don't know what happened to the lamb from when I cook it. I mean, I season it. I did my thing, right? But it wasn't just that. It was just like as if time and taste and senses and the day and the location and the air and the moist in the air, the temperature, everything was perfect, and it just became like the all these things, time and temperature and location and the taste and senses, they all kissed each other when I ate this lamb. I can't explain it to you, but I too was sucking on the bone, chewing on it. You're ripping the meat apart, chewing on the meat, chewing it. My tongue, it was like saliva all over my mouth. I was just taking the taste. Me and the lamb became one through the experience of eating the Passover lamb. And I saw that in my mother as well. And she's just sucking on the bone. I just remember that it's almost as if she was trying to get the marrow out the bone. I don't know what it was, but and then I put my head up. I was like, huh, tastes good, huh? Tastes pretty good. And we chuckled. She chuckled. She laughed. And I think I told her, but either way, in my mind, I'm like, bro, this is how you should taste. This is how the Mashiach tastes. This when you come into when you taste the real Mashiach, this is how he tastes. And the real Mashiach is in the ancient pathways. The real Mashiach is in Passover. Okay, he had the Passover meal, the last dinner, what we call the last dinner, um, or communion or whatever. Um, but yeah, so what I wanted to say was in yeah, unleavened bread. Um, yeah, man. Within the next 7 days, man, do your best to, the pleasurable things that are unto your flesh, you know, whatever it is, whatever what your vices are, try to stay away from them as much as possible. Matter of fact, do it for 7 days. Um, and the Most High is going to bless you, man. He's going to take care of you. Do the works. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was sitting on top of my head. The thought of eating unleavened bread. I end up buying non bread, NAAN bread, which is leaven. It has leaven inside of it. It's a great bread, one of my favorite bread. Um, but I won't be eating it. I bought it to be unleavened bread. Found out it's leavened bread, and I won't. I just will not consume it. I'll consume it after the 7 days, because bread is one of those things that's sacred to me and my family. My family eat bread and cheese, good butter. Man, we eat that lunch, breakfast, dinner. And so I know bread is one of those things I consume a lot. So I will literally have this, look at it for the next 7 days, and abstain from it pretty much. And that will remind me. That should remind you and me the eating of the lamb and the abstaining from leavened bread for the next 7 days. That should remind us of the sacrifice that was done for us by Mashiach, and also that Babylon is fallen, that we are heading towards the third Exodus. Okay, this is the second Exodus. This is the Exodus, um, third or second Exodus. I'm going to say third Exodus. That's coming in. I'm going to say third, yeah, because we've rallied together after slavery, or after leaving Yasharel. We've gathered before, after the first Exodus. Maybe this is the first Exodus. Um, Gotta wrap my mind around that. I'm a little bit tired right now. Let me get my tea. All right, let's continue reading. Um, all right. So 15, 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall remove leaven from your houses. For whoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the seventh day shall be cut off from Israel. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That on this day the whole world will remain eating leavened bread, and then on Sunday they will get up and act like they worshiping the same Elohim using the same book. It's crazy, right? So this book tells us that if you eat leaven within the next from tomorrow till 7 days after, if you eat leavened bread, you'll be cut off from Israel, cut off, cut off from the covenant. You're done from the covenant, right? You be cut off. You'll be done for. Okay, you kicked out of the camp, kicked out of the tents. Okay, from the Exodus, you're done from the Exodus. You're not part of the Exodus no more. But still, within the next 7 days, 99% of the world, 98% of the world will be consuming, particularly white bread. They're gonna eat white bread, bro. They're gonna eat white bread. And that lets you know, this lets you know, bro, that we are in the last days. Babylon is falling. And it gives you a good perspective of the ratio of how the Most High is looking at the earth and the human beings that He created that's on here, and how the day of Yahuwah is going to go, and who's going to be saved, and who is sinning, who's doing what. That gives you a perspective that the scripture tell you you're going to be cut off, but most of the world is still going to be eating leavened bread. They don't care. They don't care. Okay? They do not care. They're going to be eating it. And even if they knew, if you told them, they still going to eat leavened bread. Okay? Because that's how human beings are, man. They, you know, either we continue, okay? Because it's already time. We're cutting into it pretty late here. All right, we go to verse 15, 16. All right, let's do 16. And okay, 17. And ye shall guard the feast. Okay, let's finish 16. And in the first day there shall be a holy assembly. And in the seventh day there shall be a holy assembly to you. No matter of work shall be done in them, save that which every man must eat, that only may be done of you. Okay, and ye shall guard the feast of matzah, of unleavened bread. For in this self same day have I brought you your armies out of the land of Mizraim. There shall ye guard this day in your generations by an ordinance forever. Okay, in the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat matzah until the 1 and 20th day at the month at even. That's another thing. I was thinking, since I can't find leavened bread, I'm just not going to eat it. No, I'm supposed to eat unleavened bread. You're supposed to eat unleavened. And I think I'm going to gut those naan if I have to. I'm going to gut them. Because they technically supposed to be unleavened bread, but they rise a little. And I can just cut it in half. I'm just going to cut it in half, remove it. I think I'm going to fry it a little bit too, or I'm going to put it in the oven, heat it up a little so it can become crunchy, so that I can have no experience of leaven. No experience of leaven at all. Leaven would be removed. Um, okay. All right. So in the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat matzah until the 1 and 20th day of the month at even. 7 days shall there be no camets, no fermentation found in your houses. For whosoever eats that which is fermented, even that soul shall be cut off from the assembly of Yasharel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Okay, so this count for those who not even that they just there because they married somebody from Israel. Okay, or if they just born, if they just happened to born on that day and got picked up. Okay, they better not eat. Better not eat. You may be 1 year old, but you better not eat no leaven. Anyway, verse 20. Ye shall eat nothing with ferment, in all your habitations shall ye eat matzah, unleavened bread. Then Moshe called for all the elders of Yasharel and said unto them, draw out and take you a lamb according to your families, and the Passover and kill the Pesach. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin. And none of you shall go out the door of his house until the morning. See, tonight I'm not going nowhere, bro. Okay, tomorrow night not going nowhere, bro. Okay, we're staying in the house. Okay, because this is how I see it personally. I'm just gonna tell you personally how I see it. Okay, and it seems to relate. If there is an angel of death out there, why am I gonna go out there? It's simple, bro. Okay, and it's remind me of the last days too, and it brings me to the falling of Babylon, bro. There's a tariff war going on between China and Donald Trump. And the reason I'm saying China and Donald Trump and not China and United States, because bro, this dude is doing this stuff, bro. His ego, him and his crew, they doing this. Okay, he's not my savior. He's some Americans say most of America. He's the savior of America. He's just not my savior. So I have no hopes in him. There's nothing he can do for me. Okay, even though he's done a lot of things that I may benefit out of from, I know he didn't do it for me, and I know that nothing that he did can save me. I know that. It's only one person that can save me, and he told me that no man will save me. Only he will do it. So China against Trump. Okay, there's tariff wars. What this means is everything will become even more expensive to get if you can get it, if it's made in China. And everything is going to be expensive. And when stuff become expensive and rare to find, people start fighting for them. People become restless. Restless people starts riots, and riots starts civil wars, and civil wars starts revolutions. Okay, and revolutions is revolution. A revolution is the outcome of an order out of chaos. Okay, it's the first step to begin of order out of chaos, which is what these Luciferians and these people want for this world. They want to bring population down. They have all these crazy ideas that I'm not going to get into, but okay, I understand that these things will fall. They like a domino effect. So if Trump is currently in a tariff war against China, this whole day today, as this has transpired, this is the meat of the video here. This whole day today, I'm at work. I'm on my desk. I'm right here typing, doing my thing, surfing the web, clicking, doing my thing. And all I'm seeing in my face is the day of Yahweh. All I'm seeing is war. All I'm seeing is, oh, okay, it just gotten real. It just gotten real. Babylon is falling, and these nations are fighting. I'm more scared. Let me put it how I'm really feeling. I'm more scared of a tariff war than the war against Ukraine, the Russia. Ukraine war. I'm more scared of tariff war than the Ukrainian war with Russia. Way more, not scared. I'm not going to say scared. The tariff war against China holds more weight in my perspective than the Ukrainian war with Russia. Way more. Why? Because these tariff wars impact people in a way that can flip and get nasty real quick. Okay? Especially Americans. Americans, they need their cheeseburger, they need their Whopper. Okay? They're going to need these things that are made in China. They're going to want them. They're going to fuss. They're going to fight about them. Okay? Because you're touching into our culture, their culture, you're touching Americans. Okay? And so this is going to hit home too quick, too impactful. And so this is going to get people going. Okay. And so Babylon is falling, man, and I'm happy for it. I'm excited about it, to be quite honest. Um, it's not Babylon, it's not my home. Okay. I'm born here. I'm conceived here in Babylon. Um, but it's not my home. And you know, what the Most High say would happen if he needs to look down and knock the Tower of Babylon down again. He's knocking the tower down. That's what he's doing. Okay. And I think I'm going to read a little bit more, and then we can wrap this video up. I'm excited. It's my first live, by the way. If you've watched this to this point, at least, I'm glad that you're here spending the Passover time with me. If not, this will be out into the public for anybody to consume. And I'm hoping that next year, Yahuwah's willing, um, if there is another Pesach feast, Passover feast, that you'd keep it, that you'd enjoy it, that you'd take part of it, if you have plans of being in the covenant with Mashiach and Yasharel. Right. Okay. All right. Let's keep reading. I think we're at 17 or 18, I believe. Let's see here. We're at 21 and 22. And ye shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin, and strike the lintel and the two side posts with the blood that is in the basin, and none of you shall go out the door of his house until the morning. For Yahuwah will pass through to smite the Mizraim. I thought it was an angel of death. No, it's Yahuwah. Yahuwah will pass through to smite the Mizraim, and when he sees the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, Yahuwah will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyer, the destroyer, to come in unto your house to smite you. Okay, so Yahuwah is gonna be outside with the destroyer. Okay, and also the blood of a unblemished lamb, which is Yahusha Mashiach. Okay, so I want to draw another picture in your mind. Okay, so you have white Jesus. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, a messianic black Hebrew Israelite, and I follow Yahusha everywhere that he goes, and anything that he tell me I do. Right? I take the unblemished lamb according to the Hebraic Levitical ways. Take the blood, put it on the post. You take the white Jesus lamb, which is a blemished lamb. Jesus is a blemished lamb because that's not his name. In fact, you know, it he came about from a portrait from a gay guy, which his name's not coming to my mind right now. Famous name, son of some king in England or something like that. Um, his name is like right in my mouth. But anyways, yeah, and we're gonna end up seeing who the destroyer How whose house the destroyer and Yahuwah go into to smite? Okay, well, we're gonna see, because that's the conversation I have for some of my family, some friends. Okay, that is the argument and the conversation which I no longer take part of no more. It's like, okay, you believe in Jesus, oh, all this, okay, just like in the days of Elijah, okay, Eliyahu, okay, you make your altar, put your bull on top of it, and we're gonna see a fire come from the heaven. And whose altar the fire gonna fall on? We're gonna see. Because how people don't understand that Jesus, the white Messiah, is a blemished lamb. They don't understand that he is a blemished lamb, which means that he's not the right blood. Okay, so we could put it on your doorpost, but if it's a blemished lamb, that you will know it's a blemished lamb, and he will send the destroyer your way into your home. Okay, you're gonna find out too late. That's the thing. You're gonna find out too late that the name of Yahuwah means, it does mean something. It means everything. Okay, and he's not white, he's black. His name is not Jesus. You're gonna find out these things, but when you find out that this is what it is, it's too late. That's the thing. Okay. And unblemished lamb, unblemished lamb, a lamb that is a Messiah that's not black, that is white, that there's a passion of Christ. If he's a Chris, all these might small things that mean big, because he's a stumbling block. All these things, you'll find out what they really mean and what they are. But when you do find out, it'll be too late. Okay. And so I'm gonna put the blood that signifies the blood of Yahweh Shai. I'm gonna put, that's the one I want on my doorpost. Okay, the doorpost, um, and the lintel. Okay, so that Yahweh will pass over. We're cracking over an hour here. I'm going to, um, you know, it's 11:27 here in Florida. We are in Florida. We are in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Um, I do want to finish the chapter, but it was the 51. I'm just gonna keep it here. Essentially, I just wanted to have a live, man, to just wish Yasharel a sweet and holy Pesach, uh, Passover feast. I hope you guys eat all the lamb up, eat, consume it, chew on it, squeeze on it, eat the meat, reminisce on how good it tastes. Drink your grape juice, okay? And we're gonna eat the unleavened bread together when it's time to do so. Um, that we will be blessed, man. And you know what I mean, like, and do it for Yahusha Mashiach, man. Do it for our Mashiach, okay? Keep it holy, and yeah. I hope that you're blessed by the scripts. Hope you bless um, by this video, and that you keep Pesach holy year in, year out. All right, Yasharel, you guys have a good evening, good Shabbat as well tomorrow. Keep that holy as well. And I will see you. All right, thank you very much. Um, you know, remember Yahweh ben Yahweh Shai ben Ruach HaKodesh. Okay, that is our Elohim. He is the Elohai of Yasharel. Okay. Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala, Kwam Yasharala.